This is part 2 of section 12.2. We're finally getting to example problems. And on all of these, we're going to find the mean, median, mode, and mid-range for everything we're given here. We're starting off with some where they give us just some very simple list of data. And then we're going to move on to where we're pulling the data off of a histogram or a stem and leaf plot or something else like that. But we're going to be doing the same thing over and over again. Okay? So we want to find the mean, median, mode, and mid-range for each of these data items. How you approach these, the order you do them in, that's up to you. One thing, since both the median and the mid-range require that you at minimum know the largest and the smallest, I generally start off by just putting them in order. It has to be done, and it also will give you an idea of the mode, because you'll get an idea of how many times you're repeating something. So starting off the smallest, I have a 0, and another 0. And because I know myself, I'm marking them off as I go along. And then 1, 2, 4, 6. And then 11 and 12. Okay, so I have them in order. That's good, and I can see really quickly that 0 is the one that's repeated the most. So just by doing that, getting it in that kind of order, I know that my mode, which is simply the one that appears most often, is 0. Okay. How many items do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items. So my n is 9. So my median, remember to find the median, you add 1 and divide by 2. So the median position would be 9 plus 1 over 2. 10 over 2, which is 5. So the median is in the 5th position, which is right there. So the median would be 2. It's not 5. That's the position that it's in. 2 is the actual median. This is just the directions to it. Okay. Mid-range, also pretty easy. You add the lowest and the highest and divide by 2. So the mid-range is going to be 0 plus 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Okay, and now let's do the mean. First thing you want to do, remember, the first thing we need to do is to add up all of the values. And our notation for this was the sum of x. Now, I know you, again, know how to use a calculator and you can add up numbers here. You don't need to watch me do this. If you add up all of these numbers, you get 36. So the mean is 36 divided by the number of items, which is 4. So we have 4 different measures of central tendency here, and we got 4 different values. Okay, and it all kind of depends on what it is you're most interested in getting from the data. If I'm looking at grades on an exam and it's late in the semester and I have a lot of people who aren't taking exams anymore, then a bunch of zeros, I'm going to be more concerned with the people who took the test. So, and some of these measures give you a better idea of what you're actually looking for here. They're all valid. They're none of them wrong. Okay, let's do this one. If it will focus. Okay. So I'm going to list these in order, which would be 30, 70, 90, 100, 100, 100. Okay, so again, this is one of those cases where it's fairly easy to see what your mode is. We repeated 103 times, so your mode is 100. Okay. Let's figure out where the median is. Our N, we have 6 items. So this will be 6 plus 1 over 2. 7 over 2 is 3.5. So I'm going to be looking between the third and the fourth numbers. Those are the ones I need to average or find the mean of. So to complete the calculation of the median, I need to do 90 plus 100, divide that by 2, and you get 95. So the median is 95. So if you have an odd number, then this calculation sends you directly to the number. If you have an odd number of an even number of items, you're going to have to do one more little calculation. It's still not that bad. Now for the mid-range, smallest plus the largest, and then divide by 2. So 130 divided by 2 would be 65. Okay. Okay, and now we need to find the actual mean. So we need to add them up. So the sum of x is 490. So the mean would be 490 divided by 6, because we had 6 items. And what we end up with is our mean is approximately 81.67. Notice how off these kind of they are. There's a big jump here. Okay, and that's partially what's happening here is this 30 is an outlier. I mean, if you were thinking these as grades, all of these are passing, and this one is quite low. So it's out there, and it's having an outsized effect on the mean. And so the others can give you a better idea in certain cases. Okay, let's do this set. So again, put them in order. So you have 1, 3, 2 5s, 6, 8, 8, 10. Okay. So this has how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 items. So our n value is 8. Do I have mode? Well, let's see. This appears twice, and 8 also appears twice. So since they both appear more than the others, but they appear the same number of times, this is bimodal. My modes, I have multiple ones. It's 5 and 8. Okay. Now to find the median position, I would do 8 plus 1 over 2. 9 divided by 2 would be 4.5. So I'm looking to, I need to average the 4th and the 5th spots, which are those two numbers. So that would be 5 plus 6 over 2. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So the median is 5.5. And the mid-range, I would do 1 plus 10 and divide by 2, which is also 11 over 2, which is 5.5. Okay. And then the last is we need to add them up. So the sum of x, if you add up all of these values, you get 46. So your mean will be 46 divided by 8, which is approximately 5.75. Oh, not approximately, it's exactly 5.75. Now notice that these values are all pretty clustered together. In the next section, we're going to be talking about how we can measure how well things are clustered together.